A number of B2B companies have recently hailed product-led growth, or PLG, as the next big unlock. But too often, people think of PLG only in terms of product tactics, like a self-serve checkout or a free trial. And even if a team overcomes this limited view, it's still tricky to know when to use a product-led motion, rather than a sales-led one, or when to use them in tandem. This limited understanding of product-led growth often leads to a single change in the user experience or monetization strategy, which can easily prove to be inconsistent with the rest of the product and business model. This disconnect can lead to user confusion, churn, and misaligned expectations for KPIs across product, growth, and marketing teams. With all the recent hype around PLG, expert growth advisor Kelly Watkins has frequently seen teams run into this pitfall. She notes that growth practitioners face pressure from the top to deploy PLG and produce immediate results. Many think implementing product tactics disguised as PLG is a fail-proof silver bullet for growth, but they don't understand the nuance involved. Let's think about this in the context of Amplitude, the digital analytics platform. In its early days, its growth motion was almost entirely sales-led. A new user would need to work with a sales representative to get started with a paid account. But they also offered a free tier, with limited capabilities, where users could sign up on their own. Amplitude saw this as a way to create a competitive moat around their product, since without a free version, they would have been more vulnerable to competing analytics products that were easier to begin experimenting with. When Amplitude later sought to add a PLG motion, it attempted to capitalize on this free population of users by adding self-serve monetization. But since existing free users hadn't been nurtured earlier in their journey, they never discovered the vast capabilities of the paid product. Without any understanding of what the product could do, or why it would meaningfully improve how they worked, they had no incentive to purchase it. Elena says, users didn't want to upgrade just because the company slapped a self-serve plan on the pricing page. This example demonstrates that PLG isn't a set of quick-fix tactics. Instead, we should see it as one of many tools in our growth arsenal that can work well for some growth outcomes, audiences, or products, but not all of them. Keep in mind that PLG won't look the same for every business, and not every growth outcome is product-led. Sometimes product will only assist while sales or other growth motions take the lead. In this section, we'll do three things. First, we'll describe what it means to be product or sales-led, as well as what it means to be a hybrid of the two. Then we'll define a growth hypothesis, which documents how to map the ideal growth motion to specific use cases and outcomes. And finally, we'll apply these concepts to your business. By the end of this section, you'll have a growth hypothesis for your product and some foundational ideas for bringing your vision to life. Let's get started.